What is there left for me to see or love? What greeting can bring pleasure? Take me from here, as quick as possible. Take me away, a man accursed and ruined, a man most hateful to the gods.
My presence and my voice are as old as this sea, which surrounds and beats upon a land of rocks and clear light. As long as men have told stories, the mystery which gave them the talent to do so was my mystery, Dionysus' mystery. A special sort of story was told in my honor. The special sort which held deep meaning of sacrifice, yet no despair, of hideous deeds done for reasons as mysterious as the sea, yet full of my dignity. I have always cherished the tellers and the actors of these stories danced in my honor, for finally they become as full of light and truth as I am, as this land is. My own sacred animal has never been very distinguished, but he is active and very passionate. He would yearn for the sweetness of my grapes, and a sacred drink would make him dance. Men put on his skins, thinking to dance for me, and to become the goat, let them become a little of me, of Dionysus himself. To become me, they would stop being themselves. They would reach up to the god, and that had always pleased me. The satyr would dance and drink both in my honor, in my groves and fields, and to become me, to take on my strength and my passions. First, the dance was in honor of my story. Then they would want to act out my story. And as I have been many things, there became many stories. But always one of them, especially cursed and especially honored, would have the gaiety, the courage, the wit, and the talent to be picked to die, so the others could go on with new dances, like the old kings whose life was good, but whose death was needed so that spring could follow winter. This king, or this dancer, would be unique, for he was the actor who became the hero. The man who could be given to me was a sacrifice, a gift to me and also to the greatness of his own story. That story required a magnificent place for telling, and such places also celebrate my own deeds and powers. Though these seats are empty now, once they thundered with applause. To the theater came a multitude of citizens, the rich and the poor, the powerful and the humble. They came to venerate me and the Greek ideal. The place for the telling is magical, even when empty. For between such a great stage and such seats is a mysterious bond. And always in the center of the magic place is the actor, my priest and my friend. In your modern world, as in mine, these celebrants continue their work. Just as in the great stories and in those empty places they are alone, so in many ways they are alone in your busy world. think what they must do. Think what they have before them. When they arrive at their theaters, they are uplifted. But what they see before them is the place of their sacrifice. He thinks ahead. Here must he quarrel with Creon and feel anger. Here must he soothe his citizens and show kingly strength. Here must he confront his wife and feel inside himself a great fear. And his feelings must be real to you and to me. But he is helped, just as the goatskins brought the old dancers closer to my mystery. His own face will be blended with the great faces of the story. His real inner feelings push outward, and they find a great face that helps you know them. The mask will not cover him. It will take him out to you. It is not simply cloth and paint. It is a new reality, more huge than any he could achieve without it. Your face shows your emotions in truth. The mask tells the truth in the largest way possible, for it tells, all at once, a whole life's history. The actor must study his faces, because finally he must join them, make them his own, make them an extension of himself. He goes out of himself, just as the good dancers did. He joins me whenever he joins the character he must play. When he has done this, he is himself still. But also now he is someone else. He is the man alone. Alone even when the others stand by, in the center of that magic and mysterious place. He is ready to enact the story for my pleasure. By seeing that he is real, you also create the story and make him ready. He, you, and I have prepared him for the altar.
Tiresias, seer of all, knower of all things said and not said of man or God, though your eyes see not, you know what plague has befallen Thebes. You alone can save us from calamity. The messengers from Delphi's oracle report our only hope is finding those who murdered Laius, killing them, or driving them out. Do not begrudge us auguries of birds or other means of prophecies, but save yourself, your city, me. Save us all.
Let me go home. Thus you will bear your burden better, and I mine.
For the sake of the gods, do not turn away if you know anything that will help us. We all implore you. Speak.
You are ignorant, all of you. I will not reveal my grief, or rather yours.
What? You know something, and yet you hold back. Will you betray us and destroy Thebes?
Leave me alone. I will say nothing.
Most evil of evils. You will infuriate a stone. Will you not speak? Can nothing move you?
You blame my mood and see not your own anger.
Who would not be enraged by silence such as yours?
The future will come to pass, though I keep silent.
Then since it will come, tell us.
I will say nothing more. Storm if you will. Let your anger rage.
Oh, I am so furious. I will say everything I think. You are the one who planned the crime, the murder of Laius. Were you not blind? I'd say you did it with your own two hands.
You think that? Then I reply, obey your own decree.
From this day forth, speak not to me or any Theban. You are the one who has ruined Thebes.
Vile slanderer. You dare to make such shameless accusations and remain unharmed?
Truth is my shield.
Who taught you your speech?
You. For you forced me to speak against my will. I say you are the murderer of the man whose murderer you seek.
You'll rue the words that left your mouth.
Shall I anger you yet further?
Say what you like, it will be wasted breath.
I say you are living unawares in shameful union with your nearest kin.
You are blind in ear and mind, not just in eye.
Poor wretch. These taunts will soon be cast at you.
Blind man, you cannot hurt me who see the sun.
Your fate is not to fall by me. It is Apollo's task to work this out.
Is this a plot of Creon's or your own?
Creon is not your enemy. You are your own.
Oh, wealth and regal power and skill surpassing skill, what envy you inspire. For the sake of this crown, which I did not seek, the city gave it to me freely as a gift. Creon, trusty Creon, my friend from the first, now connives to oust me and suborns this fortune-teller, this quack, blind as a prophet with an eye only for gain. Say, Tiresias, how are you a prophet? When the riddle-chanting Sphinx oppressed the people, did you set them free? Then there was need for a prophet's art, but you offered nothing. But I came, simple Oedipus, and I overcame the Sphinx, not by divination, but by native wit. And I am the one you seek to dethrone, so you can rule with Creon.
Though you are king, I have the right to answer. My master is Apollo, not you or Creon. And since you have taunted me with blindness, I say to you, you have sight, but see not. Not where you live, nor with whom. Do you know your parents? No, you know not. Unknowingly, you have destroyed your kith and kin, living and dead. And your mother's, your own father's curse shall one day drive you out from here into an endless night. Flout me, flout Creon. No one of mortals shall be lowlier than you.
Must I endure such words from you? Go! Away from here! Out of my house!
I would not have come had you not summoned me.
I did not know you would talk like a fool.
To you I seem a fool. Your parents thought me wise.
What parents? Stop! Who is my father?
This day will reveal your birth and undo you.
Everything you say is a riddle.
Why, are you not the solver of riddles?
You mock me with my own success.
Just this success is your undoing. I tell you this. The man you have searched for, the murderer of Laos, this man is here. Considered an alien, he will be shown a Theban. He will be blind, though he now has sight. A beggar, though now rich. He shall go forth, tapping his way into exile with a stick. So go into your palace and think on that. And if you find me wrong, then say I have no skill in prophecy. Now, here comes Creon.
Yeah, he comes himself.
Citizens, I have heard tell of dreadful accusations spoken against me by Oedipus, our king.
Perhaps it was a sudden burst of anger, not judgment of the heart.
You, there. How is it you have come here? Or have you such a brazen face to come into my house itself and rob me of my kingship?
Tell me what injury you say I've done you.
Did you, or did you not, persuade me that I ought to send for that pretentious prophet?
I did.
And how long ago is it now since Laius
Did what? I don't understand.
vanished from sight?
Long years have passed.
Well, was this prophet then in his trade?
Yes, skilled as now, and equally honored.
And did he mention me at all that time?
Certainly not when I was near.
Did you not hold an inquiry into the murder?
We held one naturally, and we did not learn.
Well, how was it that this learned man did not say this then?
I don't know. In matters that I don't understand, I prefer to say nothing.
This much at least you know, and can say if you want to.
What do you mean?
If I know, I will not deny it.
That if he had not conferred with you, he would never have spoken of my murder of Laius.
Whether he says this, you yourself know.
When the man plotting against me is quick, moving in stealth, I too must move quickly.
And what do you want? To banish me?
No. Your death, not your banishment. So that you may set an example of what sort of monster envy is.
I see you are not sane.
You are a traitor.
Stop, lords. I see Jocasta coming out of the house. With her help, you must settle the quarrel which has arisen.
Are you not ashamed, when the land is so plagued, to stir up private troubles? Oedipus, go into the house. And you, Creon, go home. And both of you, do not magnify a trifling grievance.
Sister, your husband, Oedipus, treats me outrageously. He thinks it right to inflict on me one of two evils at his own choice. Either to thrust me out of my native land, or to take and kill me.
That is so, for I have caught him, Jocasta, engaged in evil practices by evil arts against myself.
Now may I not prosper, but perish accursed, if I have done one thing of what you accuse me.
In the name of the gods, believe this, Oedipus. Chiefly out of respect for this oath sworn to the gods, and also out of respect for me, and for these men who are present before you.
Do so, King, I beg. Consent, reflect.
Then let him go. It is your words, not his, that I take pity on. But he, wherever he be, shall be hated.
You are as sullen and yielding as you are malignant when roused. Such natures are most painful to themselves to bear.
Then will you not leave me alone and get out?
I will be on my way.
In the gods' name, tell me, King, on what account are you so angry?
I will tell you, for I respect you, wife. What plots this Creon has laid against me. He says I murdered Laius.
He says he knows this, or has heard it said?
Oh, no. He sent in a criminal prophet. He keeps his own lips innocent.
Hear me, Oedipus. No man born of woman can know the future. And here is proof. An oracle once told Laius he was fated to die at the hands of his son. Now Laius was murdered by foreign bandits where 3 roads meet. And as for the son, he was 3 days old when Laius tied his ankles and left him on the trackless mountainside. So Apollo did not cause the child to murder his father, nor was Laius killed by his son.
What palpitation of the heart, what tumult of the mind comes over me.
What is it, Oedipus, upsets you so?
I thought I heard you say Laius was slain where 3 roads meet.
So they said.
And where did this happen?
In Phocus, where the roads branch off to Delphi and to Dahlia.
How long ago was this?
Not long before you were made king.
Oh, Zeus, what have you planned to do to me? Tell me about Laius. How did he look?
He was tall, his hair just turning white. In appearance, not unlike you.
My heart grows icy. Perhaps the blind man is not blind. But one more question. Was Laius traveling with a small escort, or with those armed men that befit a king?
There were 5 in all.
It's clear as sunlight now. Who brought the news?
A slave, the sole survivor to return.
And is he here?
No. But when he came and found you king and Laius dead, he begged me to send him far from Thebes and there to tend sheep. I granted him his wish.
Let him return at once.
He shall come. But tell me why. Surely I have a right to know what lies so heavy on your heart.
Indeed you have. Now my forebodings grown so great. No one means more to me than you, so listen. My father was Polybus of Corinth, my mother the Dorian Merope. They held me first among Corinthians until a strange event. One night at dinner, a drunkard shouted I was not my father's son. Next day, I asked my parents. They were indignant and did their best to comfort me. Still, the words rankled and the rumors spread. So, unbeknownst to my father and mother, I went to Delphi. And though Apollo said naught of that for which I came, he promised other things, dire and dreadful and calamitous, that I was fated to live in incest with my mother and beget children men would shudder to see, and that I should be my father's murderer. When I heard this, I fled far from Corinth, and in my journey reached the place where you say Laius perished. Now I will tell you the full truth. When I approached this juncture of 3 roads, I met a herald and a man riding in a horse-drawn carriage. Both men were threatening to drive me from the road. I struck the carriage driver in my wrath. The old man saw this, watched from the carriage till I passed, and came down full on my head with his double goad. I tell you, he more than paid for it. In an instant, hit by my staff, he rolled out of his carriage on his back, and I killed every man of them. But if there is any kinship between this man and Laius, who is now more miserable than I? What man more hated by the gods? Wretch, whom no man in Thebes may harbor or address, on whom this curse was laid by my own lips. Was I born evil? Am I not altogether vile? Since I must into exile, and in exile cannot see my family, nor even tread my native soil? Or am I doomed to marry my mother and kill my father Polybus, who begot me and raised me up? Would not a man be speaking the truth who judged that these things came upon me from a cruel God? Never, never, oh dear God, may I see that day. May I depart from out the sight of men before such disaster come upon me.
We too, King Oedipus, are filled with foreboding. But until you speak to the man who was there, have hope.
I have just so much hope to wait for the shepherd, only that. If he says what you said, I am saved.
And what was that?
He told you that bandits killed King Laius. If he still says that, I am not the slayer. For one man is not many. But if he now speaks of only one, then plainly I am he.
But I assure you that was what he said. He cannot now unsay it. The whole city heard him. And even if his account were to differ, it would still not show the prophecy fulfilled. For Apollo declared that Laius would perish at the hands of his son. And that poor child died long before Laius' end. These prophecies hold no weight with me.
That is sound logic. Still, send for the shepherd right now.
Of course. Whatever you like.
For mortal men, there is one lot, to keep in word and deed the laws of Zeus and the Olympian host, eternal and unchanged. Arrogance begets tyranny. The loftiest climb precedes the steepest fall, and pride sans reverence or fear of law courts vengeance from the gods. For if such deeds, struck down, are not, then piety is dead. Apollo's prophecy is now forgot, irreverence in its stead.
I come to you, Apollo, with a supplicant's offering and this prayer. Free us, Lord, from this dreaded curse. We are all cowed like mariners who see their captain dumbstruck in a storm.
Strangers, can you tell me where is the palace of King Oedipus? Or better, where he is?
This is his house, and he within.
This lady is his wife and mother of his children.
Then I bring joyful tidings to her for her husband, Oedipus.
Tell me, why have you come? Have you a request, or do you bring news?
Good news for your house and your husband.
What news is this? From where are you?
From Corinth, with good news, mixed perhaps with some grief.
What double-sided news is this?
They say that Corinth will make Oedipus its king.
Is Polybus not king?
No more, for he is dead.
What did you say? Is Oedipus' father dead?
May the gods strike me down if that's not the truth.
Oh, oracle of the gods, where is your prophecy now? From Corinth, Oedipus fled lest he slay his own father, and now his father has died. Not at his son's hands, but by chance.
Jocasta, my dear, why have you sent for me?
Listen to this man and judge the value of the oracle.
Who is he, and what's his news?
He comes from Corinth. Your father is dead.
What's this? Let's have this message in your own words.
To begin, Polybus is indeed dead and gone.
Was it sickness or treachery?
A little draught will kill the old.
By sickness, then, poor man.
And at a ripe old age.
Indeed, Jocasta. Why should I care for Delphi's oracle or screaming birds? It was their prophecy that I should kill my father. Now he has died and lies beneath the earth, while I am here and had no part in this. So the oracles are nothing, dust, ashes, nothing, as dead as Polybus.
Did I not tell you this long ago?
You did, but fear overcame me.
Let such fears not disturb you further.
Still, as my mother lives, I must fear her bed.
Life is chance. No man knows what will happen. Take life as it comes. And as to your mother's bed, many a man before you has in his dreams lain with his mother. A man cannot live if such fears always hound him.
All would be well if my mother were not still alive. So long as she lives, I shall fear. For that is why I fled my home in Corinth.
Has this message not dispelled your fear?
I shall never go near my parents' home.
You do not realize that your fears are groundless.
How can they be, since I am their son?
Because Polybus was not your father.
What's that you say? Did Polybus not beget me?
No more than I.
Then why did he call me his son?
You were a gift he received from my hands.
And nevertheless he loved me so?
His childlessness made him want a son.
How did I come to him?
I found you in the wooded vales of Kithaeron.
What were you doing there?
I was tending mountain sheep.
A wandering shepherd.
Yes. And your rescuer.
Rescuer? From what?
The marks on your ankles are a witness to that.
What do you know of that old ailment?
I freed your pierced ankles from their chains, and from your lameness you derive your name.
Was this injury my father's or my mother's doing?
I have no knowledge of that. The one who gave you to me can tell you better.
Then you did not find me yourself. You got me from another.
Yes, from another shepherd.
Who was he? Tell me about him.
He was said to be one of Laius' men.
The king who ruled this land before my coming?
Yes, this shepherd was in his employ.
Is he still alive that I may speak to him?
Those of your house would know that best.
Jocasta, is the man he speaks of the one we have already sent for?
Why ask about him? Pay this no heed. This line of questioning will not prove fruitful.
What? Stop now. No, I will discover my true origin.
I beg you now, do not pursue this further if you care at all for your life. My suffering is enough. Oh, Oedipus, may the gods keep you from the knowledge of who you are.
Someone go quickly and fetch that shepherd.
Alas, oh, Oedipus. Unhappy Oedipus. That is all I can call you. The last thing I shall ever call you.
Though I have never met this man, I venture to guess here is the herdsman we are seeking. Old man, look at me and tell me, were you ever a servant of King Laius?
I was, and one raised in the royal house.
What work did you do?
Most of my life I spent tending the flocks.
Where? In what region?
Kithaeron and its neighboring areas.
This man here, have you ever seen him? Have you had dealings with him?
Tell me, do you remember giving me a child to raise?
Why do you ask me that question?
Here is the man you gave to me a child.
Did you give this man the child he speaks of now?
I did. And now I wish I'd died that very day.
That will happen if you do not tell me the truth.
And if I speak, my pain shall be even worse.
You delay?
No. I've already said I gave it.
Where did you get this child? Was it yours? Or the child of another?
Not mine. I got it from another.
From one of the citizens? From which home?
Oh, master, do not ask for the God's sake more. I beg you not to ask more.
You will surely die if I do not have an answer now.
It was a child. It was Laius.
A slave? Or a legitimate son?
Alas, I'm on the brink of ruinous speech.
And I of hearing. Nevertheless, I must know.
The child was said to be his. But your wife within can tell you best about all this.
She gave you the child.
Yes, my lord.
To do what with?
I was to destroy it.
This was the mother's wish for her own child?
Yes. She feared evil oracles.
What oracles?
It was prophesied that this child would kill its own father.
And yet you gave the child to this old man.
I pitied him, master, and thought to save him from the misery by sending him to a faraway country. If you are that man, you were born to the most woeful misery.
Woe! All that was prophesied has come to pass. Light of the sun, I look upon you for the last time. For today have I been shown accursed in murder, accursed in bed, accursed in my very birth.
O race of men, the lives you lead add up to naught. Man's happiness is shadow, momentary. I see you, Oedipus, and say no man is ever happy. You aimed higher, strode further, won more. You were my king, the greatest in Thebes. And now, who has fallen so far? Who is more miserable? Whose suffering so great? Oedipus, would I had never seen you. I mourn for you. I sing a dirge for the dead.
What terrible deeds, my lords! What sights, what sorrows you shall hear! Not all the waters of the rivers can clean this house.
What we know already demands long lamentation. What worse is there to learn?
Jocasta, our queen, is dead.
Unhappy woman. How did she die?
By her very own hand. She ran into the palace, frenzied, and rushed straight to her marriage bed, tearing her hair with both hands. She slammed shut the doors and called aloud to Laius, long since dead, recalling the son begotten long ago by Laius, who killed his father. And she cursed the bed where, wretched woman, she bore a double offspring, husband by her husband, children by her child. And Oedipus burst in, searching for his wife and mother, Some divine force led him to her door, whereupon with a dreadful shriek he ripped the door from its hinges. Inside, the queen hung by a twisted rope wrapped round her neck. Seeing this, he rushed forward and cut the noose. What happened then was even more terrible. Oedipus tore from her dress a golden brooch, calling his eyes unworthy of the light to see the evil he had done, nor meriting in afterlife the sight of those he sooner should have recognized as kin. With these words, he raised the brooch and pierced his eyes.
Alas, unhappy that I am. To what part of the earth am I born in my misery? Where is my voice scattered? Aloft, on the air? O destiny, to what point have you brought me?
Indeed, it is no wonder that amid so many griefs your suffering is double to lament and to endure.
What is there left for me to see or love? What greeting can bring pleasure? Take me from here as quick as possible. Take me away, a man accursed and ruined, a man most hateful to the gods. Ah, Cytheron, why did you shelter me? Oh, Polybus of Corinth, and the ancient home I called my ancestors, now am I found of evil origin. Oh, you three paths, an hidden glen, little wood, a narrow pass where three roads meet, which drank my blood, my father's blood, from my own hands. And marriage. Marriage, you engendered me, and having brought me forth again, produced the seed from my same self, and displayed fathers, brothers, sons, an incestuous kinship, brides, wives, and mothers, all the most shameful deeds done among mankind. Hide me away, or kill me, or throw me into the sea where you shall never look on me again. Come, deign to touch a miserable man. Do what I ask. Don't be afraid, for my evil is too great to infect another man.
Now, here comes Creon in good time to act or give advice, since he alone is left as guardian of this land.
Alas, what can I say to Creon, when in the past I maligned him so?
I come not as a mocker, Oedipus, nor to reproach you with your faults. Do not display uncovered such pollution that neither earth nor holy rain nor light will receive. Take him as quickly as possible into the house. Only those in the family should see and hear the family's troubles. This is the most pious course.
For God's sake, cast me as soon as possible out of this land, to a place where no mortal shall greet me on sight. And I beg of you, for her who is in the house, perform such burial as you yourself wish. She is your sister, and you will fulfill what is right for her. But for my children, do not trouble yourself, Creon, about my sons. Being men, they will never lack the means of life wherever they are. But my two unhappy, pitiable girls, the table at which I fed never stood separate from them. They were never without me, but always shared everything that I touched. Look after them for me, and above all, allow me to touch them with my hands, and to weep for my sorrow to the full. If I touched them with my hands, I could think I still had them, as when I had sight. What am I saying? Why, by the gods, surely I hear my two dear ones crying. Creon has taken pity on me and sent me these dearest of children. Oh, may you be fortunate. And in return for your sending them, may heaven prove to you a kinder guardian than it has to me. Children, where are you? Come here. Come here to these hands of mine, your brother's hands, which have performed this service, that the once bright eyes of your father should see thus. For I, children, neither seeing anything nor making any inquiry, became your father by her from whom I was begotten. I weep for you, too, when I think of the bitterness of life that remains for you. What gatherings of citizens will you go to? What festival? From which you will not return home weeping instead of seeing the spectacle. Now, Creon, I beg you, send me to live outside this land.
What you ask is the god's gift.
I am most hateful to the gods.
Why, then you shall receive what you ask soon.
Lead me away now.
Friends, see, this is Oedipus, once savior of our town, our greatest man. Who did not envy him his place in the sun? Therefore praise not the day until the sun has set, until he's met a peaceful death. Call no man happy.